Hey, what's happening? Let me tell you, the closer you get to the Lord, the harder the devil works to destroy you. Whether it's your relationship with your girlfriend, work relationship, your employment, your marriage, whatever. I'm telling you, this has happened to me so many times. I go to church on Sunday and have the worst Monday. Every time. And so without going into detail, so it's like I've been doing, my stuff and I think, working on my relationship with the big guy upstairs, getting, I think, closer and closer. And and it's like the closer you get, you feel comfortable. Sorry about the sunlight. You feel comfortable, and but it's just like the devil's at you to destroy your faith, destroy your motivation, destroy your marriage, destroy your relationship, say with your children even. I mean, it's unbelievable how, if you just live your life, as some people say, normal, just living life, indulging in this sin, that sin, whatever, drinking, partying, just doing your normal stuff. He doesn't mess with you. Because obviously, God and faith are not very important to you. And so he just knows that you're on a slow self-destruction route anyway. But if you try to change that and to better yourself, have a closer relationship with God, man, look out, because it's just like the gloves are off. And I had that happen to me over the weekend. And, and I almost fell for it. And it's just like, what? I know better. And, and plus it just didn't feel right. I just my finger. And it just didn't feel right, So I just knew something was up. And now that I've had a day to think about it and sleep on it, now I know why. And this happens to me all the time. Throughout my life, And it's just like the older you get, the more you start to see signs, recognize things. There was a pastor that was at a church that we went to many years ago. And, I asked him one day after church, I'm like, how do you, as a man, how do you wrestle with, sinful thoughts, be they of the flesh or just as a man, road rage, that sort of stuff. How do you wrestle with that stuff? And his reply to me was, it comes with time, comes with age. And where you're able to recognize you're going off on a direction that you don't need to go to. So you have to steer yourself back. He says that's the only difference between me and you. It's just I've got more time under my belt, and I see where I start drifting off, and then I can steer myself back. So I think that's what happened with me and to me over the weekend. It's still not resolved to my satisfaction, because there's like 2 words that I didn't hear, and I'm hoping that I'll get those 2 words and then some. But I'm not one to push it, because it should come natural. Just like, like our love for God should be natural. God's not going to push it. He doesn't force you into loving Him. And it should be a natural thing. There's the sunlight again. And it's about choices. You got to make that choice. And so, I make choices, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But I like to think I made a good one many moons ago. I still stand by that decision to do what I did. And so I try, and none of us are perfect, none. Our best deeds are but filthy rags. It's in the Bible. You can Google it or Chat GPT it, whatever floats your boat. So that was kind of like a Debbie Downer this weekend, but there's a positive to it, and I'm trying to look at it as a positive. I failed for a moment, but I succeeded in the end. So, and now the choice is someone else's, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll see how that pans out. But either way, my faith is not destroyed, not weakened, not diminished. I know there's a plan and a reason for everything, and I'm just not going to worry about it. Sometimes you just have to turn it over to God, let God handle it. I thought I lost my wallet for a second. And whatever happens. I've been through some crap in my life, and some people kind of threw the towel in on me, during those times. But showed them I'm still here. So 50 plus years later, and so anyway, it's just so important that you try to recognize that, because sometimes in the heat of the moment you don't see it, and you got to have a moment of separation where it's just like, woo, oh my God, I can't believe what happened. You're like dumbfounded at first. You're like, man, that just came out of nowhere, and it's like, I did not deserve that in the least bit, nor would I have dealt that out as well. And it's coffee. Yes. And my wife said she didn't want any, but I knew better. So I went and bought her a cup of coffee. Oh, I think this dude just smacked a deer. Or maybe not. And so I went and got her a cup of coffee and brought it back to the house real quick, dropped it off, opened up her bedroom door. I said, hey, I got you some coffee on the counter. And I'm sure she's getting up to get it because she likes her coffee hot. And I mean hot. Where it's like I'm sipping it, want to put ice in it, she's chugging it down. So anyway, I just want to toss out a little word of encouragement. No matter what happens, whether it's friendships, marriage, girlfriends, if you're a Christian man or a Christian woman, it's even harder to be good. It takes no effort to be a sinner. None. It is so easy to be a sinner. It's astonishing. But it takes a tremendous amount of effort to be a Christian man and try to do the right things. I mean, it takes a tremendous amount of effort because you have to be, you got to be conscious of it every day, because you're always at battle with yourself or somebody else. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a drink of this gorgeous coffee. My gosh, this is like the best coffee. It's called a Viking Vanilla Latte. It's like my favorite. It used to be McDonald's, the mocha, caramel mocha, or excuse me, caramel macchiato. And then all their machines went down, so then I was off that kick, thank goodness. And then my wife turned me on to, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was this current coffee shop that I'm going to, or it was a Big B or one of the other ones. I'm like, oh, hey, that's pretty good. And then I went to another place and had a different version of it. Oh, I kind of like that too. Anyway, so now I'm back to the other Southern coffee shop right in our town, and it's really good. It's a little pricey, but man, is it good. So anyway, so my word of encouragement to everybody is, despite whatever circumstances you find yourself in, just be resolute in your faith, and things will all, they'll work out. You may not like it for a little bit, and it may take some adjusting on your part, but if you revert back and trust in God, he's always got a plan. There's always a plan, because God's always in control. So he may have a plan for you, and you're just not aware of it, or you may not like it, or you don't want to do it. But sometimes you just have to, and God will put you in a position sometimes and force His hand. Not all the time, but He may do that. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. It's Monday. I'm glad to be 6 feet above the ground, and I hope you are too. If you're not, we can talk about it. And so leave a comment, and if I catch it, I'll respond to it and try to give you the appropriate response that it deserves. And so I hope you have a blessed day, and make sure to tell the people that you love, and that you tell them that every day, because every day is not guaranteed. Tomorrow's not promised. And you can wake up one morning and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and 5 hours later it's all over. So anyway, so be blessed. Have a great day. I'm blessed. So far it's a beautiful day. And again, like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a dime. It's free, but it helps me out tremendously. And I would certainly like to broaden my channel, get it out there. I was experimenting real quick. I was experimenting with a video editing software that my daughter kind of turned me on to. But man, that's just a lot of time and energy to do that sort of thing. And so I'm kind of thinking I just like doing it this way. But I don't know. I'll experiment with it some more. But anyway, have a great day. Like and subscribe, and talk to you later.